call the Board of Health meeting for June 20th to order. The first thing on our agenda is citizen participation. Do we have any citizen participation? Mark, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Mark Stoney, 49 Hawthorne Road, Ashland, Mass. The quorum we have here is 3, right? Okay. Is anything on the comprehensive plan going to be talked on this agenda?
Not tonight, Mark.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the next thing on our agenda is the introduction of our new board member, David Kinsman. David, you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself and welcome aboard?
Thank you. Yes, I've lived in Ashland for, oh gosh, I've lost count. Let's see, about 17 years now. We live on Lucy French Way, so we're just inside the border with Framingham. I have a master's degree in organic chemistry, and I've worked for several, actually probably a couple of decades now, in drug discovery and medicinal chemistry research. So I'm looking forward to my work on the board.
Thank you. Great. Anybody have any questions for David?
No questions. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
And I do apologize for missing what would have been my first official meeting and a good chance to meet everybody else in person 2 weeks ago, but just an unfortunate scheduling of a medical procedure that would have been very timely, would have been difficult to reschedule. So just bad timing, but I'm glad to be here now.
Great, welcome aboard. So the next thing on the agenda is the Starbucks external grease trap waiver request for 399 Union Street. Raj, you're going to take us through that?
Yes, sir. So I did speak with Mr. Scott a couple of times on that. Did check with DPW. We are good to go on this matter. The only thing is, and I have addressed it with Mr. Scott, that we're giving them waiver on external grease trap. They're going to be very minimally allowed for food prep, and we'll be asking the board to put a condition on this waiver, given minimal food prep allowed. That's one thing I will ask the board. Other than we are good to go. One more question, Mr. Scott. We did get an email, a couple of emails. The building commissioner, myself, from Christy Lowe. She's from CR Architects. Are you guys in touch with the team? Somehow with her emails, it was not clear that she's saying that she don't want to kind of put an internal one. They want to go for external one. I just want to make sure that we are on the same page.
No, we're going to be putting in an internal grease interceptor, and we're asking for a waiver for the external.
That is correct, but she's representing Starbucks, and she's saying the opposite, So I just want to make sure that it's clarified at your end that, hey, this is what we want to do, because from her email it sounded that she's saying, hey, if we can go exterior one, So I just want to make sure,
No, that's been the plan all along, as I just stated to you. And Starbucks asks for these all the time. So a lot of locations have these requests in with other towns and cities in the state.
Okay. So I don't know, if she's officially that Starbucks have any communication with them. I don't know, but that was a confusion that we got. But if that's what you guys want to do, Mr. Berman, I guess then we are good, at least from my side, again, board's decision,
Okay. Does anybody from the board have any questions?
I guess for myself, I have a question about the restrictions. I guess what would be the consequences, or how would those be enforced and so forth? I don't know. I'm not familiar with the procedures, unfortunately, and I don't know if this has been done before. So
yeah, so we have we actually have an inspector, so that they do random, they'll do regular inspections and then random inspections for checking for compliance. And he does that with all of our restaurants and any food establishments in town.
Okay.
And I can add a little bit, Mr. Berman. So, so we do have a regulation in town, that ask for external grease trap, for food establishments. Now Starbucks is saying, they're going to be doing very minimal prep, in-house. That's why they are asking for a waiver. But like our other restaurant need to put, external grease trap if they're doing full food prep, unless there is any hardship, So we do have a regulation in place where we are asking for external grease trap, and today they are asking for a waiver to that.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if there was, I wanted to make sure that should the situation change on their end, that the town would have a mechanism for becoming aware of it.
Right. So I guess we have clarified it with Starbucks. That's why we want to put a condition that they won't be allowed food prep here, and in that case, if circumstances changes, they have to put one, so, I mean, that's their call. I mean, and we have checked on that. And Mr. Scott, right, you checked it with Starbucks that they're okay to proceed on that?
Yeah, and just for clarification, I don't know how many of you have been to Starbucks before, but there is a menu with food on it. Our position is that unlike McDonald's, there's no fried food, there's no friolators. The food prep is really, and Doug here is from BK Architects, by the way. My name is Scott Rogers from JK Home Good Engineering. So there is food being prepared and sold. It's just kind of like toaster ovens and microwaves. It's very similar to like a Dunkin' Donuts. They sell a lot of bagels and donuts and muffins, and they do have like breakfast sandwiches and sandwiches, but it's very limited, compared to like a McDonald's as an example. They don't have friolators. They don't really cook on grills. So I don't even like calling it a restaurant because it's really a coffee shop. So just to clarify that.
And if I can add to that too, and basically the only things that the grease interceptor would be connected to would be the 3-base sink, which is basically they use to clean out their coffee making equipment and lattes and everything like that. So you're going to have milk and dairy products, but produce oils, but it's very minimal. And then you're going to also have a couple of floor drains connected to it as well too in the affected areas. It's a 50-gallon unit, and it's going to be emptied about once every 3 to 4 months, and it's very minimal as far as activity because it's a coffee shop essentially.
Any other questions?
No, that addresses all my questions.
Right, anybody want to make a motion to approve this?
Yeah, I'll do it. And so I make a motion to waive the requirement for an external grease interceptor as defined by the regulations and specifications under the management of fats, oils, and grease for the building of Starbucks at 399 Union Street, with the following conditions: that cooking and preparation of food will be kept to a minimum, including no frying in grease or oil. And 2, an internal grease trap will be installed under the kitchen area.
Okay, and I will second that. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
All right.
All right, that's unanimous.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. The next thing on the agenda, Raj, I'm not sure what this one was, board member committee assignments.
So, Mr. Berman, as you are on the comprehensive plan, and Dr. Ron was on our other, association with DAT. So this was what we was thinking, if Dr. John Jay is doing the RAM clinic, if there is anything you want to discuss on that nature, or we can do that, when we have a full board, the kind of.
Yeah, I think we should. Let's move that to our next meeting. Okay.
Thank you.
Jay, you're up next for the RAM clinic. Jay, you're muted.
Sorry, getting closer to the fundraising goals. And I know I say that every couple of weeks, but we are. I think at this point, the Foundation for Metrowest doesn't update our fundraise on a daily basis. So we're looking at that every few days or so. We'll probably need about $3,000 over the next few weeks, but we're getting close to, I think the goal at this point is about 28,000. So that's good. We got a couple of donations, a $1,500 donation just yesterday. So that's good news. In terms of volunteers, we're still collecting volunteers. We still have a ways to go. I have had a few communications with MRC and Ed, I'm not sure if you've heard anything from them at all. I've been in touch with Patrick, who is heading that up, at least for our area, and he says he's still working on it. What I'm really looking for, I think top priority is those two daytime parking lot teams, about 8 to 10 people that are committed to running the parking lot, to supervising the parking lot. And I think MRC would be perfect for that if we can get that to happen. The other thing I was going to ask you about, Ed, is would the police department partake in any of this on a volunteer basis? Or do you think?
Probably most likely not, because then you violated the union contract.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember, they're all unionized.
Yeah, that's right. No problem.
But we can do some checking. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. And then the last thing I wanted to ask you, Raj, in terms of the food permit, I think we should start thinking about contacting the Framingham Board of Health. And I don't know if you had a plan for that. So we're 7 weeks out. And I don't know how long the process takes in Framingham.
I'll take care of it, sir. I'm in touch with the Framingham Health Department on day-to-day basis. I have informed them that, hey, this is what we are doing. They'll in fact will be there, participating in the event. So I'll definitely take care of the permitting process, at least from the food side.
Okay.
We'll fill in the application, send it to them, and I'll take care of that.
All right. Let me know if you need anything from Keith Tech or Steve Mitchell or whoever or whatever. I can get.
Absolutely, I will do that.
Okay, and just by way of background, David, so I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but this is a dental, medical, and vision clinic that we're running at Keith Tech on August 12th and 13th, and I can send you information if you, or even talk to you offline about what we're trying to do. It's not a Board of Health thing. It's sort of an independent citizen thing. But a few of us have come together and formed a team to run this clinic in collaboration with Remote Area Medical from Tennessee, who they've been doing this since 1985. And so I'm happy to tell you more about it. But yeah, we're getting close to it, and we've been planning for quite a while. So, and also I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have now, but no problem getting in touch with me offline.
Yeah, I think I will. I'll reach out if you have some information that you could send along, so I can ask informed questions. That would be great.
Absolutely. I'll send it to. I don't have your personal email, but I'll send it to Laura, and then she can forward it to you.
Great, thanks.
Okay, no problem. Thank you,
Jay. I have a couple updates too for that.
Okay.
So after our conversation with Milagros, I did reach out to Marlboro and Milford. So last week I spoke to the school nurse leader from Marlboro Public Schools. I sent her all of the information. She did a blast out to all Marlboro Public School staff, asking for volunteers and for her nurses if they would volunteer. I also put the word that, especially with Marlboro and Milford, that we definitely could use more interpreters if anyone was interested in interpreting. And then this morning, I spoke with the superintendent of schools of Milford Public Schools, sent him all the information, and he was going to push that out to all of his staff this afternoon.
Excellent. That is wonderful. So, and
Because those were the two towns that Milagros wanted to make sure we captured.
Yeah, definitely. And so in terms of volunteers, are you talking about the RAM clinic, the vaccine clinic, or both? Or
both?
Okay, all right, good. And yeah, and I think it's just important for us to differentiate those when we're talking to other people that may be more interested in volunteering for the for say the vaccine clinic.
Right.
So
right.
Okay, yeah, thanks very much, Ed.
And then one more thing, and Milagros still has not called me back, so I'm not sure if we should try to maybe do a three-way call this week or next week or whenever.
I will email her and happy to get on a call.
Yeah, let's just close the loop on that.
Okay, we have a meeting on the next Tuesday with RAM at 6 o'clock. I just sent you an email about that, and I asked Milagros in an email if she wanted to join that so that we can follow up.
Right.
But I haven't heard back about
and then if you have a chance, Jay, have you checked the volunteer sign up recently at all?
Yes.
Is it still climbing?
It's climbing slowly, yeah.
Okay.
And my sense is that people are going to start registering, as we get very close. But of course, in the meantime, I'm kind of, worried about the numbers.
Right.
But
right. And then also what I'll do next week, J2, I'm going to give the transportation coordinator just a reminder for the dates that the buses have to be moved over across the street.
Okay, great.
All right.
Yep, sounds good. All right, thanks.
Raj, you're up next.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So doing good with the childhood vaccine clinic. We don't have one tomorrow, but we have one next week. With the COVID, no more demand, so we have stopped doing it as of this point, but we'll see how that works, Housing case, I have update on one of the cases, the case with the roach infestation. I did talk to the occupant last week, end of last week. He's still upset. He's mentioning that there's still activity. The management have gotten 3 treatments so far from the time we have intervened. So I'm going in tomorrow around 10 o'clock, to check that out, and I'll keep the board posted, 137 still hanging there. We mostly end of this month we're gonna have a meeting with the Attorney General's office, to see what we can do together with them, to get some sort of resolution on this case, So that's also coming, Waushakum Pond, last week we did have a negative test on the cyanobacteria. The count was around 6,300 again, and the state have like the minimal threshold is like 70,000. So we are good. They should have taken one sample today. So hopefully that comes negative, and we can lift the advisory that's in place, for the algal bloom at the Waushakum Pond. So I guess we should have an answer maybe tomorrow or day after about the test, that they grabbed the sample today. I did speak about the Metrowest Health Foundation grant for $20,000 that we got for our vaccine clinic. That's in place. I attended a meeting last week at the foundation, going over the stuff regarding the grant. So should be getting that soon. The grant started June 1st, so we'll be using it for our staff and getting stuff for the clinic. And Mr. Berman, thank you for training us for the Narcan. We'll be putting that out in the community that, hey, we do have Narcan available for anybody in the community now, and we can train people, when they come to get Narcan. So we'll be starting that also. About the House 2 landfill, we are coming up to the end for the contract with EnviroTrack. And we are in the process to bid for next 3 years. So that information will also be going out. And I'm open to any questions from the board.
Anybody?
Nope.
No.
Thanks,
Moving on. Okay, so then moving on. This might be the quickest meeting ever. Moving on, the consent agenda. So we do have the draft minutes need to be approved from June 6th. Do I have a motion on that?
Yeah, I'll make a motion. Do you want me to just make a motion.
Yeah, let's just do the whole thing. Might as well just do the whole consent agenda.
Yeah, okay, so I'll make a motion to pass the consent agenda.
And I will second it. Any discussions?
No.
No, all in favor?
I
Okay. So what the next thing on the agenda is
Excuse me.
about the reorganization of the.
Sorry,
Oh,
Ed, I was just going to
go ahead,
say, I
Laura.
don't think David can vote on the minutes unless,
Oh,
you-
he'll have to abstain, right, for this one?
yeah, I
unless,
think so,
he-
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
unless he watched the meeting. Oh, sorry, you're on mute. David.
Okay, I did watch the meeting.
Okay,
Okay,
So
perfect.
so then I think you can vote.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, so we are moving the reorganization of the board to the, we're not gonna do that until we have a full board. We decided that at our last meeting. So the next thing, it just is, just a reminder, the next meeting is on July 12th. It's an in-person joint meeting with the select board. Which will be at town hall.
What time is that, Ed?
Is that 7, Raj?
That is correct, sir. We'll let the board member what time we are on, so this will be to elect our 5th member, so, or not elect, I'm sorry, to choose, that, whatever candidates we get, so we're gonna, along with the select board, Board of Health is gonna make a decision, whom we get as our 5th member, I'll keep the board posted about the timing and all that, but they start at 7.
So is that the only thing we're discussing on the 12th, or are we also have?
That is correct, sir.
Okay,
No, that's all, so it's gonna be just that.
Right, and then
Okay.
our next full meeting will be on July 18th.
got it.
We are supposed to have a July 4th meeting, that falls on a holiday, so it won't be happening, because July 4th is a holiday, correct? Right, Laura? So that is supposed to be our general meeting for the first week of Tuesday, but that's
Right.
falling on July 4th,
And usually in July and August, sometimes
We
in the
have
past,
one.
we've just had one meeting. Try to have it on the 3rd week usually.
Sounds good. Thanks, Laura.
Are we going to, I can't remember why we decided to do this meeting virtually versus in person.
Dr. J, I can put it, there was a couple of things going on, so we asked Mr. Berman, if we can do this remote, so.
So
but yeah.
the one on the 18th, are we gonna try to be in person?
It's all board's decision, but whatever board wanna do, if you wanna do all in person or whichever model you wanna follow, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we can discuss that on the 12th, but I will be close to the agenda. But if you think, we wanna discuss that now, that's totally fine, but
So-
whichever way the board.
So what I was thinking, Jay, for the July 18th meeting, what we have to do, I think we have to just check people's vacation schedules. So if we have people on vacation that could still join remotely, we'll do a remote one. But if everyone's around, we'll do an in-person one.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
Anybody have any new business?
Nope.
Nice. I look for a motion to adjourn.
Second. Oh, are you asking, did you make the motion?
I'll make the motion to
Okay.
adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I
All right. I think I beat Ron's time.
Yeah.
All right.